10 o'clock news, this is Alan King.
Good evening, just after 3 minutes past 10, Beswick with you till 2. Join the IRA and murder a baby. Please say how do. Have you ever heard about full stops, by the way? They're not a great deal of effort. It doesn't take a lot of work to do a full stop. For crying out loud, you can do one just dropping your pen. Nick killed me reading that sentence out. What do you mean that was the idea? That's a bit harsh, isn't it? Please say how do to Susan and Nez and Vicky J, Vicky C, Sam, Julie, Jill, Stephen, Gareth and Lippy. It may well be Zippy, but as we all know from Friday night's programme, Jesus rides a Zippy. How do, and thank you, from Ali. Doesn't the paper smell nice? It actually smells like second-hand bog roll. You know those bog rolls that have a doily on them, which is like a little doll with her legs stuffed down the tube and a frock that goes right over the top? It gives me that impression. I hope you don't put this stuff on your body and bring your skin off, for crying out loud. I've been sneezing since we got it. We're getting them all from Boughton. Sylvia Scotland, Ochai the New, from the Dell in Bradshire. Great cars. In Bolton says, a belated welcome back after your recent and close encounter of the management kind. I like that. Would you please play a record for all of us working hard to save Birkenshaw Farm from the bulldozer? When the going gets tough, the tough get going would be appropriate. Any night will do, as we always listen to your programme, which is underlined about 19 million times. Whatever does Burtonshaw do? Burtonshaw Farm. Let's have a look, because there's a bit of paper here. Kindly donated by Wharton's Bakery. The paper's better than the bread, some say, but I don't know how true that is. It's probably not. One slice loaf's much the same as another. There was a legal agreement drawn not to build on Burtonshaw farmland adjacent to Turton Road. This agreement was made between the Turton Urban District Council, TUD, and the owner of the land. Well, it doesn't mean anything to me. Anyway, if they're trying to build on your bit of land, kid, I don't blame you for fighting. They get on your nerve ends, don't they? In fact, they get on your nipple ends, all these builders. Coming here, leaping about. Who is it building, anyway? Oh, that lot. Oh, great. That's what you need, innit, eh? 5 million timber-framed houses on farmland. Great. Still, they won't be up long, don't worry. And the MGs. We've had Derek in the studio tonight. Derek, the photographer for the Red Road Advertiser, has been in the studio taking photographs of Kate Adams, who's going to be doing a bit of the phoning later on, around about midnight, so you best stay tuned for that. And he's asked me to say how do to his girlfriend Dawn. He says, you've been very good over the last 2 days, because he's been working 24 hours a day. He said this would help convince you that he has actually been working. No, he never said that at all. He never Well, that's put the mockers on our photos, hasn't it, Kate? That's it. That's us out the paper. Thank heaven for that. 20 past 10. Good evening. This is the real thing. If only it was. Kez, it turns out, is not a male at all, but a female. Kez wrote to me last week and promised to send me 20 pence a week. And this week Kez has written explaining that her gender is not as I suspected. I shall read the letter thus. Dear Alan, it's all over, which is why I'm getting rid of the last remainder of the levels. A supplementary sheet, because it's the Joint Matriculation Board piece of paper here, what it's written on. As promised, here is this week's 20p. When you read out my letter last week, you referred to me as a boy. I'm a girl. My nickname is Kez. What do you call a scouser who backs horses? A stable lad. I don't understand that. At all. I don't even nearly understand that. How old do you have to be a contestant on the Sunday programme? It's your turn. The answer's 16. James Woolley of Grasmere Avenue, Higher Ince in Wigan writes, me and my girlfriend listen to your programme from 10 till 2 every night of the week, and we've been doing so for 18 months. Could you please play a record for me? The record I require is Mike Harding's Napoleon's Retreat from Wigan. If you cannot play this record for me, I have been Beswicked. You can play the record any time this week. I've heard a lot of... What? I've heard a lot of... Oh, I've heard of a lot of it. I think you got them the other wrong way round. But I cannot get hold of it. I'll ask you... No. I am dying to hear it. This comes from Jimmy and Lorna. Well, maybe we will. I'll have a look. If I remember tomorrow, when I go our house tomorrow, if I remember, I'll hoke it out, and maybe I'll play it on crap track. That'll upset Harding. There are a number of things in life that get on my nipple ends. One of them is people who write to me and commence their letter with the phrase, I am writing to you. The reason this gets on my nipple ends is because I know they're writing to me. Because if they were not writing, I would not, at this moment, be reading. It's rather like people on the phone-in who say, I've rung you too. Well, I know they have. So why tell me? I don't have many complaints, but those are two of them. I mention this because Richard Quinn has committed this dastardly offence, he of St Monica's Close in Appleton, when he says, I am writing to say. Now, if that was the only error in his letter, I wouldn't be too upset, but what he is writing to say is, your show. My show? I have not a show. I have a programme. Is ace. And I always listen to it. Always, of course, is one hell of a length of time. Programme's only on for 4 hours, at best. And it is the best, but that's another story. Will you say hello to Martin, Viv, one that I can't read, despite the fact he wrote over it 5 times, and myself? Of course I shall, Richard. Anything to please you. Whoops. Well, we made a pig's lug of that, haven't we? Never mind, we'll put it back to the beginning again. I don't know what happened there. I don't really care what happened there, to be honest. Well, maybe it is the beginning. Doesn't it start funny? Weird sort of a record, really. Speaking of records, if you'd like to win the top 10 singles from next Sunday's network chart, if you can answer this question correctly and address your answer in writing to me, and indeed if you're then the first one of those such bits of paper pulled out the hat with the right answer on it, then you will win the top 10 singles. You simply answer the question, what year did England win the Football World Cup? If they've won it more than once, which I very much doubt, but if they have, we're talking about the last time they won it. And the prize, as I said, is the top 10 singles from next Sunday's network chart. Answers on a postcard, or a sealed-down envelope, or in a letter and addressed to me, Allan Beswick, Red Rose Radio, P.O. Box 301 Preston, PR11YE. It's 10:32.
Win £50, £20, £15 each week at the Newmarket and M2 Market, Waterloo Road, Blackpool.
Mr. Clapton, tearing us apart. Yippee. Mark Shivers, whose writing is not dissimilar to the Jellies, all wobbly, says, I have been waiting for your reply, either by radio or letter, to the event of me sending you an autograph from Mike Harding. As I have heard nought on the radio, I'm wondering if you received it. I enclosed an SAE and asked for an autograph photograph or two. Some of those squarish Red Rose stickers, if they are free, and any spare money. If the delay is at your end... Doesn't seem to be, I've just had a look. Could you also bung in an order form? When it gives P&P next to an item, is that per item? or for any quantity of it? How do you know if you haven't got an order form? Then I would also include as to where I can obtain the Whittle Waddle Penguins, Hell's Alsatians, I've Got an Unch Esmeralda, Osland's Meat Pies, and Stamp on a Smurf. The former gang of them I can tell you, the Smurf one I can't. Please could you tell me if you bid... What? Oh, if you did get it, on the 23rd of June. No, I didn't. I didn't get it on the 23rd of June. Well, that's sort of covered that, hasn't it? Yeah. P.S. Should you not change the phone in to the phone out? P.P.S. Goodbye. Phone out. Oh, man. Yeah, phone out. Yeah, I suppose it could. There's a guy called John Farnham. I don't recall ever having heard of him, but I do seem to think I've played this record before. You saw the clap on it, you know. It's got a clapometer. I think it's Huey Green with his eye out. If you want to join us on the phone in a little later, ring us now on Preston 561,000 and book your call.
The chance to turn the pages on.
John Farnham, you're the voice. Pleasington Lane, Fenny-Scowls, I goes past quite a lot on me way home and on me way here, because I generally got the same route. I didn't go that way tonight, but I don't suppose you're bothered. Why am I referring to it? Because I have a letter there from, in fact, Barbara Howarth. How are you doing, me little cherub? Quoth she. Please could you play a record for me on Tuesday night between 10 and 11, and also say a big how-do to Chris, my brother, my mum, my dad, and wish me dad an happy birthday for last Sunday. Also say how-do to Adele and Julie and Ben and Carol and Judith, and indeed everyone else who knows me. Where have I heard that before? Do you remember me? I was the one jumping up and down, waving at you on Saturday night at 8:20. Jumping up and down and waving at me on Saturday night at 8:20, I remember not. You were turning off Livesey Branch Road onto Preston Old Road. Oh, yes, I do remember, yes. Yes, I remember it well. Near the public house were ye, with two friends. Waving. I was on my way somewhere. I'm always on my way somewhere. I think you were wearing a maroon-coloured... Maroon? Oh, maroon! You're not up on the spelling, are you? A maroon-coloured bow tie. Probably was. Could you please send me one of your badges? I enclose 50p, send it back if it's not enough. If it's not enough, I'm not sending it back. If it were too much, I'd send some of it back. I don't know how much they are. Nobody tells me anything. Anyway, if there's any left, keep the change. Give it to charity. Anyway, bye for now, or... as the people from Deutschland would say. Ta! I am a great fan of Maurice Jarmel. Let me tell you, I have got... Is he releasing any other great songs? Yes, he is, in about 5 months' time, or 3 months' time, or something like that, but I'm not sure exactly when, but certainly he's going to. And a fortnight or 3 weeks today, I can't remember which, he's coming in. Maurice Jarmel, live, I use the term in its loosest sense, in the studio. Going to interview him. And then I'm going to hit him on the nose, and then we'll make a Maltese cross. Because he is, you know, he's from Malta. Anyway, Maurice Jarmel is coming into the programme. I think it's 2 weeks tonight, but it might be 3. We'll let you know as soon as I know for sure. Ooh. This is brilliant. Money for nothing. Sounds like this job. Ha! Oh, the taxman's not listening. Mind you, he's not too intelligent for him. In just over an hour's time, round about midnight, we shall have a guest phone-in presenter once again on Red Rose Radio, and our guest this evening will be, indeed already is, Kate Adams. She'll also be picking the melodic moment, because she's perverse like that. However, she will be joining us, so if you ring between midnight and the melodic moment, you won't be talking to me, but to Kate. If you want to talk to me, you've got from now until midnight and after the melodic moment. The number for all of us, or both of us if you prefer, is Preston 561,000.
Red Rose Kitchens.
There are dozens of places to buy fitted kitchens from in this area, so why choose Red Rose Kitchens? For starters, we have the largest choice of solid wood and superior laminate kitchens in Lancashire. You buy direct from your local manufacturer, saving hundreds of pounds on showroom prices. And with our first-class reputation, you can be sure the work will be completed with the thought, care and efficiency you'll appreciate. For 100 other good reasons to choose Red Rose Kitchens, come down to the factory on Moorbrook Street off Garstang Road, Preston, or phone 59139. Red Rose Kitchens, the name you'll want to remember.
Red Rose Kitchens, always the number one for your home. Let's all go on an Avalon holiday.
Imagine yourself at Lake Garda, the largest of the Italian lakes surrounded by picturesque towns and villages. Imagine 10 gorgeous days of excursions to Venice, Italian Dolomite and Bipertino. Well, this could come true with Avalon travel for just £169, including cross-channel ferry and top accommodation. Ring for details of departure dates on Bolton 398 788.
Let's all go on an Avalon holiday.
Nurses. For 3 days this week, Nursing Times will be holding a major exhibition at UMIS, Sackville Street in Manchester City Centre. See all the latest products, equipment and services on the market for nurses today. Visit the Job Forum to meet employers who are offering all the latest nursing jobs. And there are over 20 seminars giving free guidance on all the career opportunities in nursing. The Nursing Times exhibition is on today, tomorrow and Thursday at UMIS, Sackville Street in Manchester. Doors open at 10 a.m, admissions free to all nurses. Don't miss it.
Let's get calls underway by talking this evening to our first caller, who is Bill. How do?
How do, Alan? Did you see...
Well, this is a good start. We can hardly hear you.
Sorry.
It's all right, go on.
Did you watch World in Action on Monday?
No.
Only, I know it said on the programme that there's lead in our water and there are chemicals in the water that can cause cancer. And that the water we're drinking isn't purified enough. And what do you think about it?
Well, what do you think about it?
Well,
Let us examine the alleged facts. There are chemicals in our water. Well, yes, there are. Some of those chemicals are there, allegedly, as purifiers. For example, chlorine. That's there to help our teeth get better. Other people tell us that chlorine in our water is bad for us.
what is it exactly?
What is it? It's a bleach.
Oh dear.
Ah, it's a bleach. It's the same stuff that they put in the swimming pool,
Yeah.
so that it kills all the germs when the kids and some of the adults wee in it.
Oh,
It's true. Mind you, I must tell you about a swimming pool. I'm not sure, I think it was in Oldham, where they put a dye in the water, and you couldn't tell it was there, but if you weed, it changed the water colour around you. You see, the colour of the water around you. And they thought, we'll be able to point at all the kids and say, out you weed in the water. What happened? All the kids went, what a great idea. They were all saving it up till they got the baths. Drinking 3 pints of water and going to the baths and piddling. It's wonderful, but that's another story. There's none of that in your water. But all it is, it's just chlorine. It's in there to make your teeth stronger, they tell us.
Well, the programme said, you know, in Scotland...
Yes, I do.
They said that it's 5 times over the level. They allow for a little bit of dirt in it. They allow for the bit, but it was 5 times over the level in Scotland, and it can damage children's brains and the chemicals in it because they're not purifying it properly.
Well, if you're talking about brain damage, then it's probably the lead content they're talking about, because lead content does do that.
Alan, why aren't they purifying the water enough? Why are they putting all the chemicals in, and why is there all this lead in it?
Well, first of all, the lead we'll deal with as a separate issue. The lead is in it because a lot of the pipes used to convey the water, and I suffer from this at home, are made of lead. And that was the original stuff that they put, that was the original pipes. They've now changed them to copper.
It's expensive.
It is expensive to go around the country changing them all, and indeed, if you want your pipes changing, then you have to make a contribution to it in certain areas. We got a letter from the North West Water Authority the other day saying if we want to change our pipes, then fine. If we want to stay alive and not get headaches from the poisoned water, then we've got to pay. Which strikes me as being a little untoward, but that's the rules and we're stuck with it. Now, so that's how the lead gets into the water. It's the pipes they use to convey that water.
Yeah.
They've been doing it now for years, and not many people have suffered the consequences. That's point one. The second point is purification. It's impossible, first of all, to be totally and utterly, or to have totally and utterly pure water when you're collecting it from the sky. So you've got to make it as pure as you can. Now, how pure you make it is a matter of cost. And eventually you have to say that we will accept a level of impurity in return for a saving in cost.
Yeah.
You could, I suppose, purify it for another year and possibly get rid of some more of the impurities. But if you do, that would increase the cost of your water.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of degree against cost.
Yeah, but I wonder where they get the program got its information from. That it causes the damages the brain. They didn't actually find out
Well,
the lead damage.
the information about the lead damage to the brain is many, many years old.
But what chemicals are they putting in that cause the cancer? They mentioned cancer on the program.
Well, I'm told that chlorine is carcinogenic.
Yeah.
But like any other thing, it depends on quantity. If you have one cigarette in your life, you are unlikely to get cancer as a result of smoking.
Yeah.
But if you have one every 10 minutes, there's a fair chance you will. It's a matter of degree, again.
Yeah, but I wonder what the government is going to do about it.
What the government are going to do about it is they're going to take advice, and they're going to act upon that advice. And if the advice is that the degree, let us stick with chlorine for the time being, if the benefits of the chlorine to the public at large are greater than the costs to a minuscule proportion of that public, then it's worth having. Because on an economic basis, it's cheaper to put chlorine in the water than to pay dentists to put fillings into teeth. And that's one of the things that it helps to avoid.
Yeah.
So it's all down to costs, benefits, and the other cost, apart from the financial cost, the cost to the community. You cannot put what is a poison in water and not expect some consequences.
Yeah.
But if that poison is in fact another word for a medicine, then it's like when aspirin is a poison. You take enough of it, you die. But if you've gotten an headache, it's a good idea to take some of that particular poison.
Yeah. Did you
So we
actually
trade poisons.
see the program on Monday?
I've already answered that question. Do you remember the answer?
No, I didn't.
Well, it was the same as that.
Yeah. Hey, Alan.
No, I didn't.
Can I ask you one more question?
No, you can't. How do Michaela?
Good evening, Alan.
Good evening.
I wonder if you could help me. A week tomorrow I'm taking my driving test, and I've been learning off a driving instructor just for a few lessons to brush up, but my dad's mainly taught me. Now, one of them says that when you come to a junction, you put your handbrake on, then you go into neutral. And the other one says that when you come to a junction, you go into neutral and then put your handbrake on. Can you tell me which one's correct?
If we're talking about a stop junction...